Today on Tech Nation, we are at the National ICT Innovation Hub installed by the government of Uganda through the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance. This is a one-stop center for all innovators that are interested in co-working space. All you have to do is apply online and get appointed to get a space. We're going to look at the different innovators that are situated in this space, what they do, how they've changed the narrative using technology. My name is Trena Bukuru. Welcome to Tech Nation. Coming up on the show.
Digitization and smart solution is the single most important resource for improving the public transport sector, the story of Kasaiba since 2018. And in technology around the world, let's look at some public transport systems in developed world, and my personal favorite and choice is Vienna, Austria in Europe.
Uganda is at the epitome of innovation, and young minds are still innovating and they're still putting their minds when it comes to technology. Let's stay tuned on this episode and we see what these various innovations can help you in your today life and how they can ease your life at the comfort of your home.
The Ugandan public transport sector is undergoing a time of great changes. The traditional concept of mobility as we know it now includes electric automobiles, rail transport, ferries, and matatus, whose exponential growth can be attributed to rural-urban migration, further congesting the already choked tech parks. Digitization and smart solution is the single most important resource for improving the public transport sector, the story of Kasaiba since 2018.
Since inception, which I would say around 2018, we've been able to roll out this platform, and as of last year, March, we had already 10 million bookings. So really...
Wait,
yes.
Did you just say 10 million bookings?
Yes, 10 million bookings.
Wow.
As of last year, March. So obviously this year is probably going to be a lot more. But we have seen the uptake of it, the people love it, they're using it, and we believe the impact in of itself is quite strong.
Yeah.
Just like what you're mentioning right now, with having to go to the terminals, Chikubu and whatnot. The only time you'll ever have to go there is when you're going to board your bus and go, right? So we don't want people that are going to be there just all over the place looking for where to go, who's doing what, which bus is going where, all that confusion, commotion. We're removing all of that and we put it in the palm of your hands, right? So you can do it from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection and the Kasaiba Go app. So Kasaiba, we're trying to digitize the public transport sector, and how we're doing that is through developing e-ticketing platforms and payment systems for the players, or rather transport owners in the public transport sector. Yeah.
So why Kasaiba?
Sure. So Kasaiba is building a very reliable platform that is not only going to connect one mode of transportation, but is also going to connect about 3 currently. The platform currently has bus operators on it, has the train on it, the URC, as well as ferries currently supported on the app. What we're trying to do also in a nutshell is to decongestify the terminals where you have to go and look for which bus is going where, what time, schedule. That whole entire process can take up to about 2 hours. We're trying to reduce that to within about 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, and at the convenience of your home. We're running a B2B2C service, right? So our very first client is the business, which is the transport owner. Then from there, we have the customers. Now we have 2 platforms. We have the Kasaiba admin app, which is what we give to the business owners, so the bus operators. And then we have the Kasaiba Go app, which is the bookings app that we give to you, the traveler.
The traveler,
yeah. That's ideally how we're running it.
Kasaiba has played a leading role in innovation in public transport sector, and in order to maintain this leadership, incentives for investment and research in new digital solutions related to mobility are highly important.
Let's say peak period, Christmas.
Christmas
right?
season, yes.
Christmas season. You have booked your ticket, you want to go to wherever you want to go. You get there and say, for instance, you miss your bus, right? Maybe you arrived late and the bus left. What we have in the app, you'll see that there's a refund policy, right? Which different bus operators have under different clauses. So you'll find that a certain bus operator offers a refund and another doesn't. That is very key for you to read and understand.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, we also rely on you to be on time
Yes.
for your movement, for your travels, whatever.
Yeah.
But also one thing that we can, as we move forward, right, that we'll be able to, I would say, leverage on, right, as we continue spreading our system throughout the country. Leveraging off of, I would say, numbers, right, to be able to come out and tell a bus operator that, you know what, we are bringing in so much traffic, right, perhaps during Easter. Give them like a 50% off or a 10% off, whichever way you look at it, right? So at least even the traveler has an incentive to want to use the app, to also want to use the bus or the train or the ferry, whichever. Coming back to your question with regards to what we are doing to curb, say, for instance, the bus arrived late, or I wouldn't say you won't find a situation where the bus is full, but that's why we have the app. The app will be able to show you which seats are available and which seats have already been taken. So if that bus is full, you will not see it, right? You will
So
only
just
see the
we've
available
reached
buses.
to that extent.
Yes.
Transport safety is and must also be one of the main objectives for Kasaiba.
We are currently working with the Bank of Uganda to, because obviously our platform has the payment function on there. So just like you've mentioned, money will be coming through the system. Now for us to give guarantees that your money is going to be safe coming through our platform, that's where now we're working with Bank of Uganda to give us that compliance, right? That will help us to come back to you and kind of tell you that, you know what, your money is coming through us, but we are regulated by Bank of Uganda. But not just that alone. Our system in of itself, when you see our receipts, it has a QR code embedded into it. That QR code is tailored to your ticket, right? So anything to do with cyber attacks, anything to do with hacking, for example, it's made even more difficult. I cannot say that we are 100% going to be unhackable. I don't think there is a business that is 100% unhackable, but we limit the windows or avenues, right, to which someone will be able to or will be tempted to hack the system.
Digitization is a fundamental transformation driver for mobility systems. The Kasaiba app has significantly reduced operation costs.
With just about ticketing, the whole entire digitization process, it also involves having to remove things like paper. So where you find that the normal bus operator will have about 3 sheets of paper just for one ticket, we're trying to reduce that to 1 sheet of paper, which is literally a thermal paper, right? And eventually removing that whole entire process. So that in of itself, I would say, does contribute to that already. But also with the platform or system that we are thinking of putting into process will allow you to also be able to track your carbon emissions, right? But all of that, like I said, is still a work in progress, and it's something that hopefully down the line we're going to also be able to integrate within the app, a system where you'll be able to see your carbon emission per, say, kilometer that you have traveled, and hopefully also what you can do to reduce your footprint. Say, for example, say if for this 1 whole kilometer, it tells you have this much carbon emission. It will also probably give you a suggestion that you can maybe plant 1 tree or 2 trees per your emission. That will also help to reduce the footprints that we have.
You've heard it. The young innovators in this country ain't sleeping and they're not about to bow down. They are still cracking their minds to make sure they get to use technology to solve any available societal challenge. And that's what is happening right here with Kasaiba. Don't go anywhere. When we come back from the break, we're going to dive deep more in what they have done and some of the testimonials of these bus operators and customers that have actually enjoyed their app thus far.